Hello everyone. Today our group will delve into a social media analysis to compare the strategies employed by Bowen and Volkswagen during their brand crisis. We will first discuss our finding from auditing the two companies' strategy and their customer engagement. Then we will propose a new strategy for Bowen to boost positive customer engagement during the crisis. To start with the strategies, in terms of the types of posts, Bowen utilized a variety of types, namely reply, retweets, and normal posts. Bowen predominantly focused on normal posts with a relatively smaller proportion of retweets and replies. However, following the accident, a decrease in replies and retweets was noticed, and only normal posts were made after the second crash. As for Volkswagen, they only posted replies and normal posts. However, after the brand scandal, there was an increase in replies and decrease in normal posts, which was controversial to Bowen. Interestingly, normal posts for both brands yielded a higher engagement. We noticed that Volkswagen used Twitter as a customer service platform both before and after the scandal to address individual issues and guide customers to their customer service team. Thus, we were mainly focused on normal posts for our further analysis. In terms of frequency, both brands decided to reduce their post frequency following the incident, although Volkswagen still replied on a daily basis after the scandal, but the normal post frequency dropped drastically. Regarding post format, Bowen favored photos followed by videos and links, but after the second incident, all formats decreased. However, Volkswagen used a lot of photos before the crisis in their normal post, but a notable decrease in multimedia format was noticed after the incident as well. For scheduling, there was no change for Bowen, who typically posted in the afternoon and evening on weekdays, especially on Wednesdays. However, it was a bit of users' most active time. Volkswagen scheduled its posts in the afternoon and evening as well, but with normal posts mainly on weekends before. However, after the scandal, normal posts were made all over the week. Lastly, regarding the content, before the first and second crashes, Bowen focused on its activities that submit advancements and achievements in the industry, while only mentioned the investigation of the crash after the second incident, which implied a lack of transparency while addressing public concerns. However, for Volkswagen, we observed a transition from general activities and achievements to purely followed up the investigation after the incident, implying a high transparency. Based on the analysis, Bowen did not change its strategy right after the first incident, but only after the second crash, which was a bit lagged. However, Volkswagen reacted instantly in changing their strategy after the scandal. Then I'll pass it over to Kara to talk about customer engagement.
As for Bowen's customer engagement, likes appear to be the most common type of interaction, associating commemorative content like anniversary wishes. Replies and retweets often relate to posts with critical updates. The engagement levels were moderate before the first incident, but has increased before the second, which might due to the increased attention to Bowen's safety issues, and it has reached a maximum post-second incident. Its customers been showing a consistent preference for posts with photos and videos, whereas there's a notable drop for plain text and photo. Posts with links rebounded right after the second accident. Bowen's Twitter content has been switched from a focus on positive themes like corporate milestones to frequent updates about the 737 MAX, which also led to a surge in customer replies. As for Volkswagen, the average engagement pre-accident was higher compared to post-accident, and the other approach we noticed was its aiming to solve individuals' problems rather than public announcements. We can also tell from the graph there's been a decrease in retweets and likes, but an increase in replies after the incident, which could indicate more customers are more inclined to engage in conversations seeking clarity and reassurance, or just simply expressing concerns. Volkswagen's customers show a preference for plain text, which are pretty straightforward, as well as a rise in engagement for posts combining photos with links. And posts with multimedia types experienced a drop to 0 post-crisis, implying that overly complex content was just less engaging during the time. Its post-scandal strategy was more featuring promotional and interactive campaigns, but moved towards more informational content addressing the emissions issue. It also started to use hashtags as an effort to re-establish trust and signal commitment of transparency post-crisis customer service. To sum it up, Boeing and Volkswagen seem to have very different crisis management approaches. For content strategy, Boeing utilizes various content forms but found the most success with posts that combines photos and videos. And engagement increased significantly after the second incident, with a shift towards content that addresses concerns about the 737 MAX. However, Volkswagen, primarily for direct customer service and resolution guidance post-scandal, it kind of maintained a consistent approach, focusing on informational posts to help customers to navigate the recall process and stay informed about the updates.
Thank you, Carla, for the detailed analysis on customer engagement. Now we move on to customer sentiment analysis. From both the graph, you can see that there's a shift towards negative sentiment after the first incident and also after the second incident. However, you notice that after the second incident, the shift toward negative is significantly higher than the previous one. This is mostly due to the perception of the public that the Boeing initial response was just a cover-up. A day-by-day analysis surrounding Boeing's second crash showed there was a significant upward in negative sentiment, which is in line with our expectation. However, there were also an upward in positive sentiment, which does not make sense. A closer inspection showed that our analysis could not properly capture the complexity of negative comment that would mask under sarcasm. Some small spike in engagement resulting from Boeing's posts after this timeframe were also analyzed, and the results were mostly positive from Airbus 50th anniversary, mix of both positive and negative during Pride Month and Veterans Day, and mostly negative surrounding FAA announcement of the suspension of all Boeing 737 MAX. Moving on with Volkswagen, the same trend could be observed from Boeing, with negative sentiment rising significantly, replacing positive sentiment right after the incident. A closer look at and around the incident date shows that the spike in negativity comes directly after the EPA announcement. However, we can also observe that negative sentiments and overall engagement starting to decrease as Volkswagen customer service step in and redirect all this public to their private in-house customer service. And we can also observe some small spike in negative sentiment after this period due to negative news, but overall, the negative sentiment was going down. Overall, Volkswagen was more successful with their direct approach, and their customer service was able to reduce and redirect the negativity away from public spaces. Boeing, on the other hand, their initial response proved detrimental to the brand, being perceived as a cover-up, which reduced their overall ability to promote a positive vibe and restore brand trust afterward. We will now move on to Zihaus for his part of social network analysis using Node.xl.
And social network analysis is important for companies. By analyzing these networks, companies can effectively target influencers who have the authority, connectivity, and engagement levels to influence potential customers through word of mouth, thus optimizing their marketing strategies for broader reach and higher impact. And on the screen, you see a sophisticated social network analysis specifically focused on the interactions surrounding Boeing before the crashes. We have identified key individuals like Dave Wadsworth and Scotty Bateman who stand out for their remarkable all degree and betweenian centrality, and they are pilots. So what does this mean? It signifies that these pilots are not merely active participants in the conversation, but crucial nodes through which information flows. They have the unique ability to engage with a wide range of users and serve as vital junctions in the spread of information before crashes. And at this page, we spotlight those individuals who attract significant attention. The data we've gathered show us that figures like Ken Vogel, a well-known journalist and FAA News, the U.S. government agency in aviation regulation, possess high in degree scores. This metric tells us they are not just part of the conversation, They are the focal points, receiving substantial communication from others. And another influencer, Oliver McGee, a former analyst, especially in the timeline preceding the second crash. His prominence in this discussion signals his role as a driver of critical conversations about Boeing's cooperative practices and regulatory compliance issues, and Oliver McGee's role as an aviation analyst on the TV series Air Crash Investigation significantly enhanced his influence and presence on social media. And upon reviewing Volkswagen customer engagement data, its influencers are filled with fans, media, and the general public. Among the influencers, Tana Faust, a professional race driver and TV host, stands out with the highest in degree before the incident, receiving many replies from others. He usually engaged with Volkswagen by posting vehicle photos and mentioning Volkswagen's activities. His appearance must be linked with the brand reputation of Volkswagen and the high engagement from fans of racing cars. Besides, Twitter provides a platform for social discussion about vehicle-related topics, with the highest in degree and betweenian centrality throughout classic vehicles publication. The Real Auto blog has predominated the discussion as an influencer. With a high betweenian centrality, it serves as a critical bridge to disseminate information across different groups. And Boeing's Twitter presence before the two crashes showcases a broad network with over 15,000 connections where the dialogue reaches far but perhaps not as deep, hinted by a low graph density and higher maximum geodesic distance. These figures suggest a network extensive in reach, but with interaction that are more broadcasted than conversational. Volkswagen's digital footprint before the incident is different. A tighter community is revealed by a low number of connections. The notable detail here is the higher reciprocation in interactions, indicative of a more engaged user base that could denote stronger brand loyalty. And in conclusion, Volkswagen's strategy is more refined, focusing on specific groups passionate about automobiles. The selected racing celebrity Tana Faust is an excellent example of the necessity of using the original speakers' voices to communicate the brand message. It has a wonderful chance to reach out to people from different cultural groups. And next, I'll pass it to our next team member to present the comparison of their social media strategy. Thank you.
Thanks, Ziao. Now comparing Volkswagen and Boeing's social media strategy, Volkswagen had successfully reduced and redirected negative sentiments away from public scrutiny, which the customer support on social media can attribute. On the other hand, Boeing did not handle the crisis well, as their responses to the problem was a temporary fix, which hampered the public trust and caused even more damage. Moving on to the social media strategy designs, we have three design considerations: the content, format, and type of engagement. The content shared should be meticulously crafted to address the crisis directly. The format should be diverse to ensure a clear and transparent message and then maximize reach. A more interactive approach to social media engagement can transform how customers perceive them during a crisis. Our proposed social media strategy proactively and directly addresses the crisis clearly and transparently. By implementing this strategy, Boeing can mitigate negative sentiments and rebuild a trustworthy brand image. This can be measured by tracking sentiments changes across various social media platforms to monitor shifts in public perception. We can also measure the coverage, views, engagement levels, and shares of its social media posts to understand the reach of its message and how deeply they are resonating with the audience. Predominantly online, Boeing's diverse global audience can be categorized into three main groups: the industry stakeholders and corporate clients who engage on LinkedIn for insights and company news. Second, aviation enthusiasts and experts who prefer in-depth technical videos and reports use platforms like YouTube. Finally, the general public who frequently use platforms like Instagram and TikTok, where short-form videos and visual contents are easy to access. We suggest that Boeing should craft messages that show understanding and take full responsibility for its action using a combination of written and video content. They can do this by using organic and sponsored posts. The content can feature Boeing executives and take viewers behind the scenes of their remediation efforts. Collaborating with influencers like Dave Walsworth and Scotty Bateman that we found through analysis can add credibility and personal touch to the content, making the brand more relatable. The post should be scheduled at times with higher engagement from audience such as early mornings and evenings on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday. During the crisis, they should halt all promotional content to focus on managing the crisis. After the technical issues have been addressed properly, regular posts can be resumed. Monitoring and analysis can be done by monitoring of its online engagement, utilizing APIs to systematically collect data on user interaction, and employing advanced sentiment analysis to assess emotional tone. This is necessary to effectively enhance their social media strategy and understand the impact. Thank you for listening.